Okay, welcome back. I realized that these fleet cards are actually an expansion, so what I was looking for is here, under orders. It's ambiguous. When a fleet moves from one area to a different area, check that all of its transports have infantry. So does that mean you load the infantry or not? I mean, that's the question, right? Because if the place that they're located at has enough infantry to load onto transports, that's how I interpret this. If any transport does not have infantry after you loaded them, then take the counters from Japan and then otherwise, grab battalions. But the rules are clear in the basic rule book that if there's a battle going on and there's U.S. forces present, which is here, that when you get an order to move to another location, those infantry cannot move. So if the battleship fleet is being asked to move, which in this case it is, it has to get its forces from somewhere else, and then this basically told me where to get it from. So that's bad news, because what's happening is this guy's going to move to Wake Island, and then he's going to take one infantry from Japan, and then 3 more battalions. So basically the number of forces they have just grew by a gargantuan amount. Those battalions, they're not powerful, but they take 2 hit points to remove, and it's just that's the part that makes them stink so badly. But he is done, and now we're at +5 to our die roll. The withdrawal action makes it +10, and we're now on the Marshall Islands, which is not a fleet. So I rolled a 9. That's an offensive. Oh my gosh. So it has to be the battalion. So a battalion is attacking Hawaii by himself on a transport with no ship escorts. And because of the Hawaiian rules, we know they're adding 3 battalions. So we have to somehow do 8 points of damage, 2, 4, 6, 8 points of damage to that transport in order to not lose the game, with no ships and nothing but our aircraft. And I have 1 supply point to spend, which is now going to be spent to protect Hawaii. If we survive this, we move on. If we don't survive this, I'm going to do Rule 19 or whatever Will Wheaton's thing was, because I want to keep playing this game. I think that I want to go into 1943 and see how this game feels. Those of you who are watching and are patient enough to go to my 4th try, I think I'm sick of 1942, and you guys probably are as well. So I would like to see how the game difficulty changes when they're not just attacking Midway and Hawaiian Islands all the time. Yeah, I'm telling you I'm going to cheat. I'm basically saying if I lose the election, I'm not going to back down. But I hope that I can pull this off. I mean, I'm going to try my best. It's just that 8 hits is hard, so hard to do. And I can't even use artillery because I don't have a ground unit there. My mistake is this guy should have went to Hawaii. Big mistake on my part, because then I could have used an artillery. The number of battle turns is going to make a huge difference. I'm nervous. But we got to do the rest of the movement. So everything went down. So now we're doing Carrier Fleet 5, which is 6 + 2. That's an 8, which becomes a hold. But the good news is he gets held, and so does 3 of the planes. Next up is Surface Fleet 2. 9 + 5 is 14. They're going where there's a battle. And unfortunately, that's 3 places. 3, 6, 9. And the 3 is the right move. So Surface Fleet 2 is coming here. And 2 planes is coming with them. So this infantry was, if anything, it just served as cannon fodder to prevent them from going there or there. So I guess he did do his job, even though he's not gonna win anymore. Okay, so we did battle. That doesn't change. So now we're doing surface fleet 1. 7 plus 5 is 12. So this is what we want to see. We want to just see them moving south. So that's going to take 2 planes with him. And now we're on the last one, surface fleet 3. 9 plus 5 is another battle. Crap, 3, 6, 9. So we got lucky again. It was a 2. But I didn't like that at all. That was a lot scarier than it needed to be. And so surface fleet 3, that was pure luck. Surface fleet 3 is not super bad. I mean, it's just 2 ships. So I don't think it would have been the end of the world. One of them's a sub. So that part's not at the end of the world. The big thing is another infantry would have been added to the mix, and that would have been harder to kill. Whether it's Hawaii or Midway, it would make things so much harder to kill. So the good news there is it's just bringing one troop with him, and I'm going to go ahead and land it because we're not going to resolve this particular battle. Surface Fleet 2 is also super powerful, and he's dropping off infantry. I mean, there's no winning this. So I'll roll for a number of turns. We'll figure it out. And those infantry are all supposed to be on transports. We'll sort it out. But that's the last of the fleets. And now it's just a big stack of planes. And I'm not worried about planes because they can't attack us. Well, I guess they could go to New Guinea. So 9 plus 5 is 14. They're going to a battle. Oh gosh, they could go to Midway. No, they can't. Invaders can't go to Midway. So the 2 planes have no choice but to go to New Guinea. So they're just going to make the battle even more lopsided. 8 plus 5 is 13. They're going east. And that's going to be 2 more planes. And then 3 plus 5 is 8. That's going to become a hold. So now they're up to plus 10. But there's only 1 single plane left. And he gets a 15, which is a reinforce anywhere that has objective that has Japanese forces ashore. So it's got to be somewhere where they can land. So we're going to go 2, 4, 6, or no, 3, 6, 9. They can't go to Midway because they haven't taken the island. 3, 6, 9. So that would be here. So he's coming down and landing on the Gilbert. Okay, so this guy was a sacrificial lamb. I'm not going to bother doing that battle. I guess we should roll to see how many turns. I mean, I rolled a 10 for God's sakes. That would have been 4 battle turns. Yeah, not happening. Which one do we want to do first? I guess we got to do Hawaii because we need to see if this game is over and if I'm going to have to cheat just to keep playing. And that's it. I mean, this game is so hard. Okay, so we already added the 3 battalions. This is the rule that hurts. If you took this rule away, the Hawaiian Islands isn't so bad. But these sheets are never helpful to us. And then, like we said, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 planes. All right, so this is where I do want to roll a 10 for battle turns. I rolled an 8. That's good. That's 3 turns. Okay, this is the same dilemma we had before. Do I spend my battle point to add an extra turn? Because if I add an extra turn, I might be able to pull something off here. Obviously, I want to take the bomb success as an extra hit. So that'll do 2 hits against them. It'll outright kill one of their units just for 1 hit. After that, there's, stop a hit on an airfield. That's actually all I can do to help me here. Stop a hit on an airfield, or I can adjust the battle duration by 1 because I may need 4 turns to kill all these guys. So retcon decision number 1 is I'm not going to spend that supply point because I need it for midway. Again, I'm being selfish. I'm being, being aggressive. But if I have to, this is what I'm buying. So I'm just going to set it aside as a temporary. And I know this sucks because this isn't the rules of the game. You're supposed to make the decision and live with it. But like I said, I want to move to 1943, and I want to do it as uncheaty as possible. So there are 2 scenarios here. One is I spend that battle point to protect Hawaii, or I spend it to take Midway. And I want to do both because that's really the only strategy that's going to win this game. But Hawaii, of course, is the ultimate critical one, and I'm feeling like I'm going to have to spend it to adjust the battle duration. What's crazy is, from a plane perspective, other than this one, and maybe stopping a hit on an airfield, there's nothing I can do to increase the number of hits on them. So let's play this out. Because they have 4 units, they get 1 battle plan, and let's see what that battle plan is. And the battle plan is their air combat is awesome, which good for them. And this is a very simple round. They have no anti-aircraft ever. It's going to take them 2 turns before they even get into a foxhole. And for this first turn, we're using our naval attack values. The second turn and beyond, we're going to be using the Navy ones. I'm sorry, the land. So 4, 4, 4, 3 4s, and 1, 2, 3, 4 1s. It's that simple. So let's do the 4 1s. I do get a hit. I got some nice 4s there too. And 3 4s. I got 2 more hits. That's 3 hits. And then this will be 4 hits. I'll take that, right? So 4 hits kills 2 of their units. And yeah, they're all battalions. So then they land, right? So that would be the end of the first round. So now we're down to 2 turns left. So we draw for their battle plan. First light. Okay, so then we switch to the land values. So I have 1, 2. So let's roll for the 2. That's a miss. And then I have, I'm going to sort these. 2, and then I have 1, 2, 3, 4 3s and 2 4s. So let's do the 4 3s. Oh, there's 2 hits. And then I have 2 4s, which are misses. So 2 hits kills 1 more battalion. They're down to 1 battalion. I'm down to my last turn of the round. Holy buckets. Screening ship. Okay, so 1 2. That's a miss. 3 4 3s. There's a hit. That's 1 of the 2 I need. And then 2 4s. Oh my gosh, it's really coming down to 2 dice. And those are misses. So I would lose the game because that guy is at a half point. So, so clearly I'm spending my last supply point and hanging my head in shame because I'm not a brilliant genius mastermind. I should have went with my gut that this was critical and midway we could survive without taking, because technically speaking, we don't need the extra, we don't need midway until we go here because the number of objectives is fine. If we don't take midway this turn, we're actually still okay. I should have with the mindset, but the thing is I need help taking midway. That's, so yes, increase the turn so we get 1 more turn and this should do the trick. As you can see, there's only 1 half guy there. And sorry, I just knocked over a stack of ships. All right, so 1 2. 4 3s. And there's the hit. I was gonna say, it is possible I'm going to roll all misses, and there would be the 2 4s, which were misses. My 4s never hit the entire game. So that does it. I just... Oh, they would have drawn one more. Yeah, we would have been fine. Okay, so... That's really nail-biting. I mean, I guess... So my advice with this game is you got to be as conservative as possible. Always go to midway. You know, always spend your battle plan points to defend Hawaii, to give yourself extra turns. I mean, everything about this is... And then Hawaii only became a challenge because they added those 3 dang battalions. If it was just the single guy trying to land there, we would have handled it. But that was scary. And technically, from a purist perspective, a loss. But from within the rules of the game, if I would have just made a different decision, we're still okay. So I'm proving that this game is beatable if you just don't make the stupid decisions I made and make the other one. The one that my gut was telling me to make, but I didn't make. Okay. So now we go to Midway Island. And this, I think, is going to boil down to how many battle turns we get in our roll. We have a lot of infantry, as you know. We only have 2 planes, and our planes are vulnerable this time because their infantry are now established in foxholes, and they have a lot. We have no ships. We have no battle plan points we can purchase above the 3 we get, and that's where we're going to get hurt in this. So, you know, to be quite honest, now that I'm looking at this situation, this is not winnable, even with the extra battle plan points. So, number of turns is a healthy 3 turns. They have 4 guys, so they still only get 1 battle plan point. And I drew one, but I'm not going to look at it because I realized I need to pick mine first. So there's 2 ways to go here. We can protect our air base from getting hit, but instead I'm going to take artillery because we need to apply hits, right? So the artillery is going to apply an automatic hit to them, and then because we have 1 point left and there's nothing else really to spend it on, we're going to roll for an extra infantry attack. That's all I can do. And then here's what they drew. Oh no. Oh, come on. I've been getting lucky with the draws. I guess my luck was eventually going to run out. But now it's super impossible to win that. Okay, there's no anti-air, so we're just going to roll for our bomb run. It's 2 4s. There's 1 hit. So 1 battalion takes a hit. And yeah, we have to hit the battalion first. So then we go to the infantry phase, and they have 2 3s, a 4, and a 1. Here's the 2 3s, and they hit. Here's the 4, a hit, and here's the 1, a miss. So they hit twice, and I'm going to kill a battalion. I don't want to lose my planes. The battalion's not that strong. My battalion rolled a 1. Oh gosh, that was a nice roll for anything else. And then I get to roll 3 3s. And of course they all miss. My artillery will do a hit and kill their battalion. And then I'm going to roll for an extra attack on my infantry. That one does hit. So we hit their other battalion. And now we're down to 2 turns left. So the extra turns may actually hurt us in this case. Here's their next one. They get a bonus to their air combat. We get to roll 2 4s. There's a hit, so their battalion is destroyed. And now they get 2 3s and a 4. The blue will be the 4. All misses. That's good. We get 3 3s. There's 1 hit. So we can apply a hit to this guy or this guy, but not that one. So we're going to hit the 6th Infantry, like so. All right, now we're down to the final battle turn. Here's our 2 4s for the plane. Oh, hold on. Kamikaze. +1 to all attack rolls. I think that's the only other one that would have helped them. So here's our 2 4s. Both misses. They get a 2 3s and a 4 again. Or no. They get a 3, a 4, and a 5. 3, 4, 5. 3, they're all misses. So, and then we get 3 3s, 1 hit. So we do kill off that infantry of theirs, but they survive with 2 infantry. We lost 1 battalion, but our planes stayed alive, and so did our infantry. And, you know, in retrospect, this was not a battle where that extra battle plan would have helped worth a darn. So that was absolutely the right call, was to spend it against Hawaii. And so I should never have even needed to put an asterisk to this game. I feel guilty. I do. I like taking pride in winning without having to retcon. But 1942 is just one of those kind of missions. That's for certain. So we're at the end. They do get their battleship back. So that would go back onto the battleship Fleet 1. You know, that's what happens when you only damage them. We have our supply, which that part's good. We did lose a battalion and an infantry, but beyond that, we're fine. You know, this obviously goes back to 0. So we move on to the final turn, November, December. We need to take 1 more objective or we lose. Because you need to have, if you have 4 or less, you're replaced. And that's true for all of 1943 as well. So we're in a bit of a bind, but Midway's takeable. And then these other ones are takeable too. It's just we have to pick and choose where we're going to go. And then, of course, we can't lose the ones we have. Hawaii is still vulnerable. That's another issue. So lots of issues, folks. Okay, so let's move to our final turn. We're going to get our entire navies available to us. That part is awesome, and we're going to need it. And the battleship is going to be available to us, so I'm going to add it to our navy. Now, Hawaii obviously is still a threat, but because we have our entire navy available, we could probably handle a Hawaii attack. These 3 are going to move down because we're still delaying 1. We're going to delay the Australia. Even though I do have supply to Australia right now, I'm still going to delay all the Australian ones. We get 3 more planes and a Marine, and the Marine is going to be very helpful because they go straight to a foxhole, as you may recall. And thank you for the folks to point that out to me. And having these extra planes will be very helpful for defending against Hawaii attacks, which I think are inevitable. Okay, so how many points do we get? I didn't even check. We get 22, which is not bad. 1 battleship came off the line, so we only have room, I think, to buy 1 ship. But let's check. Sorry, I was removing all the bingo chips. So 22, 10, 22. Let's go over here and see what we got going on. So there's 10, or there's the 2, I mean, 10 and 20. Okay. We are currently at 5, 10, 14, 16 points. I can buy a 4 ship. So I can buy this battleship for 4. And so that's 4 points. So I'm going to have 6 points left. Like so. This is worth 1 point. And if I spend 10, I can finish this. and that's built. And if I spend 5, I can finish this, and that's built. And then I only have 3 left, which I probably should save for battle plans. Do I really want to finish everything? All this stuff is going to become 1943. Sometimes when you build stuff before it becomes 1943, the 1943 version is more expensive, and then you get like the you know, since you already built it, it's on the manufacturing queue, you get to upgrade it for free. So that's something to keep in mind if you're really being min-maxer here. Did I really need to build this for 10? My answer is no. I'm going to leave that delay thing in place because that gives me 10 points back. And I can use that 10 points. Now that I finished the upgraded thing, I can get a marine one for 2 and these 2 for 4, right? So now I'm back to 6. So I can 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 points, right? Yes, I want to get that factory built, but I just don't think this is the turn to do it. I could, you know, build these planes, which are all $2 each. So I have 4 of them left for 2 points each. I can only build 2 of them for 4 points, and I'm going to go ahead and do that. These are both really nice fighters. These are both average bombers. I have no idea which one's the better choice, but I'm going to take these 2 for 4, and then I will have 5 points to take with me for battles. So 5 points I'm going to take with me for battles. Okay, am I pinning any of their stuff? Pinning works. But if I do that, I'm only going to have 1 battle plan point for everything. And that scares me. There's a part of me that feels like I should just let them do what they're going to do. So let's analyze this for a bit. We know that one's not going to move. And that one's not going to move. And the rule we just learned is this guy's going to do a hold order. So we know that's going to add +4 automatically. And we also know that these guys are going to do a hold order because anything that's an objective, they do hold orders. That's the first order they do. And the hold order means that the fleet's going to stay too. That changes the game a lot, by the way, folks. I never knew that that's what it was, but you know, these carrier fleets and stuff won't move away. They're going to stay pinned and protect the objectives. So arguably speaking, I need to start over again. I'm not going to. But you know, there's truth to this. Those things now. So you know, this Surface Fleet 3 is going to do a hold order. I don't need to pin him, for example. These carriers that moved away, they would have done hold orders and stayed where they were. So that would have made this game a little different. And I don't know, it might have actually worked in our favor. It's hard to say. The hold order is definitely going to increase their aggression. Okay, so what am I going to do about Midway? They have 2 units there. I have my 2 planes and my 3 infantry. I'm banking on the fact that I can take Midway just with that, and I don't need anything else. So we got our fleets here, and 1 fleet needs to stay in Hawaii to protect Hawaii. The other fleet needs to take something, and we're going to try to take Gilbert Islands. There's no reason not to take Gilbert Islands. It helps us in so many ways. especially if they take Samoa or whatever. So we're going to try to take Gilbert Islands. We could try to take like Wake Island or one of those, which will be an objective the next year, but it doesn't help us for this year. So since there's U.S. forces present, these guys are going to get pinned and they're not going to do a hold order. So that's the other reason to do that, is that prevents them from getting the +4 for the automatic hold order. So I'm not going to pin anybody. I'm going to, no scouting. I'm going to save my points and use them for battles. I have planes. I have lots of them. In fact, I have these planes, which I am going to put on Samoa, 2 of them, just in a vain attempt to try to defend Samoa. I don't know if it'll make a lick of a difference. And then this one will just go to Hawaii to help them. In fact, I may switch it, because Hawaii is going to be all about those dang battalions, and this guy, this guy would actually help Hawaii take those battalions. So yes, we'll leave him there. All right. What else can we do? Oh, we got a Marine unit, which is going to help us to take the Gilbert Islands. That's it. I don't have anything else more inspiring there. So let's do orders. Battleship Fleet 1 has only, well, it has 6 units now if you count the transports. So, I'm looking at this and trying to determine who goes first. I would say he goes first, second, third, fourth, fifth, and then Japan is 6th. Although this is really close, but I don't feel like counting them all. So let's do Wake Island first. That is a 4. So that would be a refit in Japan. So this moves up by 2. Battleship Fleet 1 goes to Japan and is done. We're not afraid of Battleship Fleet 1 right now, other than, but their 4 transports is the part that hurts. Like if they went somewhere, that's adding 4 more battalions to whatever we have to kill, and that would actually hurt us a lot. That's where the Battleship Fleet stinks. Okay, what did I say 2 was? That would be Carrier Fleet 1 is 2. That's a 4 again. Another refit, so this goes up by 2. So Carrier Fleet 1 also goes to refit, and so does a plane. And next was this one, Surface Fleet 1, which is also nasty. That's another 4, but it's +2, which is a 6. That's still a refit. So he also goes back to Japan, and he brings 3 planes with him. And I got to do one more roll to resolve the plane. So that's a 10, which is a withdrawal. 1 closer to Japan. So I'll send the plane back. That does improve this by 1. Okay, what did I say was next? It's this one. So Carrier Fleet number 3 is a 10, +2 is 12. That one's going south. So it goes wherever there's the least number of troops. So like we said, now this would be a hold action in the future. That changes the game. It really does. Because now we know that that guy's not going to move. And when we're sending our scouting points, we don't have to spend it on this guy. We spend our scouting points on, you know, something else. That is a game changer right there. Okay, And that might be the trick for why this was so hard for me. Maybe that made it easier, because I actually do think it makes it easier that they stay at the objectives and don't move away. Anyways, now we're going to do Carrier Fleet 2. That's a 6, plus 2 is 8. That's a withdrawal. It is going to move them up to the +5 bump. And he's going to go here. And the first one, the support would have brought the 2 planes with him. So those planes would have been down here. And then, yeah, he's done up there. And Iwo Jima's done too. So now we got this big stack. And just like we learned, Surface Fleet 3 is doing a hold order. So that holds, this holds, and then all 3 of these hold. And in doing so, they cranked it up to +10. So now we're rolling for Surface Fleet 2 because the rest of the stuff doesn't hold. And that becomes a 14, which is battle. So we're going to join a battle, and there's only one battle on the entire board, and that's the Gilbert Islands. So Surface Fleet 2 is going to the Gilbert Islands along with this one plane, and their transports were already full, so they don't take any of the infantry from that island. So it's going to look like this. Oh no, that's the Carrier Fleet. I apologize. Yeah, they take 2 from the island. So these 2 infantry come from the island and join. Surface Fleet 2 is very beatable. This is a pain in the butt. It's going to prevent us from possibly taking the island, but we can definitely do some damage to Surface Fleet 2. Now I'm rolling one more time for a single battalion. Yeah, roll 10. Come on. Oh, okay, that's a 15. He's reinforcing an objective with Japanese forces ashore. So 2, 4, 6, 8. 2. So he's staying where he's at. Okay, so he's done. And now we're in Japan. So Carrier Fleet 4, I want them to roll a 10. Come on, roll a 10 or a 9. Ah, come on, that's a reinforce. This is not good because they could go to Midway. It's again 2, 4, 6, 8. It's a 3. So that's okay. That takes him to here. That doesn't hurt us. So he goes there, and the reinforce brings 3 planes with him. And just a bunch of stuff goes to that island and just stays there. I feel so bad about missing that roll, about doing a hold order. I really think that changes the dynamic of the game. I'm going to have to do an errata for that one. A third video, or maybe combine some stuff. Okay. Last one, Carrier Fleet number 5. We're still adding +10. Oh, it's another reinforce. 2, 4, 6, 8. I rolled a 2. I guess that's okay. It means there's no big battle in Hawaii this turn. I was actually hoping one of them would come to Hawaii because I wanted to rumple stomp them. But what that means is everything just went to the objectives. So they're holding their objectives, and if I would have rolled this one, that would have been deadly because I don't think I could have taken on a Carrier Fleet and a Surface Fleet, and Midway would have just killed me. So that would have been game over. So this is where the luck of the roll actually worked in my favor, and I didn't even have to roll 19 or whatever. So I am happy about that. Okay, so let's do battles. And there's only one on the board, and it's the Gilbert Islands, which is not going to be easy. Because if you remember, the Gilbert Islands are going to get fortification markers. Everything about this game is making Japan tougher. Everything about the expansion packs and the upgrade kits makes Japan tougher. So I'm going to end this video and quickly make an errata video because I want to get that out there. So thanks for watching. Stay awesome.